Hi guys, this is again going to be really short video. I think most of you guys know what Flutter is. Flutter is a cross-platform, independent framework that is by Google. Flutter is by Google, and you have been also seeing the lot of trends, and I have been also everybody has been seeing the trends where people, even the companies, are moving from the native, the frameworks or the React Native or any other Android Studio, let's say, to Flutter, and there is a very important reason behind it. Now, you as a freelancer and as somebody being a freelancer, let's say if somebody is an app developer or a web developer who is a freelancer, so why are they moving into Flutter? There is a very unique reason behind it. Now, the first thing why people use Flutter, if you take a really common thing, so it is the single code base. So you will use a programming language called Dart, D-A-R-T. It's very similar to C or C++, and you'll just code in there. And there are a lot of widgets and components, so it makes it very easy. It won't be like an actual coding. You'll just call certain functions and you will give properties to it. Uh, if you code in a single Dart code base, you can build it. Just run it in iOS, Android, web, and desktop. Now, let's say you wanted to do an Android app, and if you use Android Studio, it is limited to the Android app. And if you want iOS, you have to again move to Swift and code the iOS. And if you want to do a website, then you have to move to, let's say, JavaScript or React or any other thing. And instead of that, it promotes the faster development. You can tell your client, it's again value proposition, right? For a freelancer, it's always about giving the maximum value for the clients. You can tell your clients, I can do your website, iOS and mobile application, like all the Android mobile application as well, under this time, and I'll be charging very nominal instead of charging for three things. So now they will of course agree, and you can give the value proposition in that manner. So it promotes the faster development is what people are liking, and it's very simple. Okay, it's very simple to reduce the bugs, like to work with the bugs, because there are a lot of extensions that you can use. In fact, in all the frameworks, but yeah, it's an added advantage to find that out, and you don't have to worry much about it. And the best thing, if you ask me, also I'm not a very huge developer. I'm not a Flutter expert, but I have used it, and my students use it. We do have a batch of Flutter, so I do know most of it. Now, the best thing, if you ask me, is let's say you are developing an application and you make some changes in the code. You don't have to restart the application once again. There is a feature called hot reload. You just have to press the hot reload option. It will be around flash option, the lightning option on your top right. So once you click on it, it will instantly change the application, so you don't have to again and again, because what used to happen is people used to make changes, restart the app. People used to make a lot of changes, restart the app. That is not needed right now. So the hot reload is there, and it's a very efficient engine. That's why I have added as the efficiency engine cross platform power. uh, there has been a lot of applications. You can do your research. There has been a lot of complex applications that is built in Flutter, and people shifting into Flutter, that especially requires the real-time output. And even I believe BMW is also built by Flutter, the BMW application, and it does very good UI, because the widgets, the buttons, everything are keep on updating, and it will be a perfect thing. And Flutter, one very good thing about it is it uses its own rendering engines. So it is not third party, it uses its own rendering engines. It's called Skia. In fact, I came to know this recently as well. So this will allow you to create a very customized and consistent UI. So you won't feel restricted. You really won't feel restricted that like while designing. So you can play around with it. There is custom widgets, and you can import certain packages as well. So if you want to do animations, you can import it. So there are a lot of things you can do in Flutter, and also you can build games as well. So there is a separate package called Flame, and if you're a game developer, you can build really good games, in fact. And Dart is very simple, so it's almost like C++, not totally like Java, but it's almost like C++, and it's very easy to learn. You'll feel it very familiar to everybody who started with C, C++. This will be a cakewalk for you. The market has been demanding everybody to move into cross platform. and all the, like I have included, the BMW and Alibaba. So they adopt Flutter. So the more complex the app is, the lesser maintenance. I mean, the more maintenance it will be, and it's going to be people. They require bandwidth, like they require people and they require a lot of resources. But in Flutter, it can be managed. So there is a growing adaptation, and according to the client's perspective, it will reduce the time, so he doesn't have to spend for Android app once, iOS app once, and then web application. He doesn't have to do that. So it is a reduced development and he can deploy as soon as possible. So you can always give the value proposition in that way, and it saves his cost and saves his time. And that's what the clients will be looking for. And everybody or moving into Flutter. I mean, some of them are still in React Native, but a lot of them are moving into Flutter, and especially the freelancers. The freelancers are moving, so it's an advantage for you. It's an advantage for a freelancer to go ahead and shift to the Flutter. And yes, that's the future of the app development. I used Android Studio. I used React Native. I mean, I have a tech team who used to use that, and they were pretty much comfortable, and they didn't want it to shift to Flutter. So we initially hated this framework when it first came. We thought it's too much complex. We thought it's too much unwanted. But when one of my teammates started using that, we fell in love. I mean, he just showed it, and everybody started using it. Now everybody has moved into it. So it's that simple, and it's very easy to follow up, and it has a really good potential, and they're working on it a lot. You can check the news, you can check the articles, they're working on it a lot. So it's not a dead end project, that they're planning to put in a lot of work, and there is no other framework that has been mentioned by Google to replace it. So you do have a right opportunity to shift now. If you're Android Studio or if you're React Native, do have a look at it, and probably you will get why people are joining or shifting into the Flutter.